I wasn't sure if that van was gonna turn harder. It's hard to tell. Whoa! Yeah, this thing's actually quick. Wow. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over the all-new Subaru Outback Wilderness. First and foremost, though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Jody Wilkinson Acura here in Salt Lake City, Utah, for giving me some time with this Outback. They've got this one for sale if you're interested. They also sell the new Acura product as well, so definitely check them out. Like I said, link to their inventory in the description down below. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below as well. Let's get right into the video. So under the hood, we have a turbocharged 2.4 liter flat four cylinder that goes through a CVT automatic. Power outputs are 260 horsepower and then 277 pound-feet of torque. And this has a towing capacity of 3,500 pounds. So let's go with the front end of the Outback Wilderness. First off, we have 9.5 inches of ground clearance here with the Wilderness. You guys will notice we've got this cool decal here in the center of the hood, but it doesn't stand out too much with this particular car because, well, this one has black paint. But anyways, we've got the signature daytime running lights with the headlights, and then notice here with the gold on the front end, and you guys can see we've got the fog lights as well. And then we do get skid plate protection underneath, as you guys can see. That's one of the benefits of the Wilderness. So obviously improved ground clearance, re-gearing as well, and then those skid plates to make it so that it's just better off-road. Coming around the side here, we've got two 25mm tires wrapped around 17-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. And then you guys can see here with the wheels themselves, they've been all blacked on. They kind of have that like off-roader type appearance. And then here's a quick look at the front suspension, and you guys can see here tires are a little bit more aggressive than a regular Outback tire, but I wouldn't really call them super aggressive by any means. We've got our Subaru Wilderness badge right there, and then Outback here on the side, and then we've got the plastic cladding here for the fender flare, and then all along the side with the bodywork. And if we take a few steps back, you guys can see more gold accenting there at the top with the rack, or sorry, the rails rather. But anyways, that's your side view. Now here's our key fob. You guys can see we've got the lock function, the Subaru logo, and then we have the opening for the hatch. By the way, the Subaru logo unlocks it if you are wondering. But popping inside of the Wilderness, you can see it says Outback here. And notice how it covers the seats as well with this protective rubber, I guess is what we will call it. And you've got this little latch right here. This is what will lower down the seats, unless the seatbelt's holding them up. Anyways, you can see here with the spare tire underneath. Is that actually a full, looks pretty much like a full spare, which is pretty nice. And the seat went down more forward. Anyways, storage space with the Outback is really solid. It's not a huge SUV. Well, it's technically like a lifted station wagon is what everyone calls it, but yeah, it's practical. Anyways, you can lock it if you want. You can press that, and then that'll just lower down the hatch. You gotta be firm with your finger. Now, finishing things off with the rest of the rear, I actually like the taillights on the Outback. I think they look pretty cool here. And then notice here we've got our Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive badge, and we have our Outback Subaru Wilderness badge here on the other side. And then you guys can see here with the gold accenting, and then notice parking sensors here in the rear, and we've got exhaust tips on either side, so it kind of has that cool appearance. And I'm curious to see underneath with the whole suspension setup and everything. Yeah, pretty interesting. Anyways, there you go. Now popping inside the Outback Wilderness, you guys can see here with the padding up top, and then notice the stitching that goes across, and then more padding right here. Look at that, the window's automatic. And then here's the seat. Again, you guys can see here with the padding on the side, and then down the center. The center portion would be really easy to wipe off. Actually, this would probably be pretty easy to wipe off too. I'm just thinking from an off-road application perspective. Anyways, popping in more rubber floor mats. Ooh, it's actually really spacious back here. That's nice. And we're just gonna throw that back up. Look at that, we've got our cup holder armrest. We've got some vents back here, heated seats, USB ports. What more could you ask for, folks? Inside of the front. Now here's the front door panel. You guys can see again, Subaru Wilderness right there. And then notice with all of the padding, all the windows are automatic. That's pretty cool. You get your mirror adjustments, blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. And look at that trim piece right there. It's pretty interesting. And look at the seats. So again, Subaru Wilderness. And then you guys can see here with the design, and then notice the stitching that goes all throughout. Got your adjustments there on the side, which are power. Get another Wilderness badge right there. Look at the pedals. Super nice with the appearance on that. And then look, that's for the hatch. That's to turn it off if you just want it to be manual with the operation. And then more padding there. Pretty nice interior. Let's pop in. So here is the steering wheel for the Wilderness. You guys can see from a material standpoint, it has that kind of like cool, durable, rugged appearance. Look at all the stitching and then the gold trim. This does have steering assistance as well as adaptive cruise control. Paddle shifters there for the CVT. And then you guys can see here with the volume, voice command, phone controls as well. And we got a turn signal light stock, windshield wiper stock, all the normal stuff. And there's the steering wheel. Now here's the center gauge cluster. You guys can see you've got the RPMs on the one side, you got the speed there on the other side, and then you do have that little screen there in the center, which basically you guys can see it shows just like fuel range, for example, and how many miles are on it and all that kind of stuff. You know, pretty basic. I can scroll through some different menus with it so you guys can see right there. That's what these bottom controls are on the steering wheel, but yeah, there you go. So here's the infotainment system. First off, if I pop it into reverse, you guys can see we've got a backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. Notice I can change the drive modes with, I don't know, just a thing, I guess. Aside from that, there is also a camera view button right there, so I can press that, and then that'll just pop it up again. As for the rest of the infotainment system, it seems like it's pretty easy to use. You got like the climate control section here at the bottom with like the heated seat function, for example, and notice that you can like control that, and then also like the temperature in that area, so that's pretty cool. And then like the radio, all that, so it seems like it's pretty self-explanatory, pretty easy to use overall from a functionality perspective. And I'm glad you've got some analog controls here on the side for like the climate, for the radio, all that kind of stuff. And I'm wondering, is that the only way to access the drive modes, is press the camera button? If that is in fact true, that is very strange that you press the camera button to activate. Wow. Because I mean, let me know if maybe it's the car button here. I bet will. Oh, there you go. So I can just press the car button. But the easier, so like it's easier to access the drive modes by pressing the camera button than it is by going. That's so weird. Subaru, what are you thinking? Anyways, there's the screen. Wireless phone charger here with the USBs. You got the parking brake, and then we have that shifter again. Look at the gold trim again for the CVT. You already saw that. Got some cup holders here, and then yeah, lots of like stitching and padding all over. It's actually pretty nicely appointed here. Same thing here on the dash as well. I think they did a pretty good job with this whole setup. And yeah, I mean, flows pretty nice together. Popping up top here, we do have a sunroof. Got the controls for the sunroof, sunglass holder, and yeah, there you go. Now, if you want the most up-to-date price on this Outback Wilderness, check out Jody Wilkinson Acura's website in the description down below. This is obviously in their used inventory, but again, they also have the new Acuras, like I said, like the new Integra. But let's take this out and drive it. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility over the hood. Both the mirrors, which are gonna have blind spot monitoring throughout the rest of the rear. And let's set off. Subaru Outback Wilderness. This is a very interesting vehicle. And you know, obviously Subaru is catching on with the off-roader trend, right? Every manufacturer is now building some sort of off-roader package on their vehicles, because it's so, like, even though there's like more people off-roading, but not everyone off-roads, it's still popular to have like an off-road package, because like people like the idea that their vehicle can do crazy stuff, even if they're never going to do it. Basically, it's kind of weird. Anyways, driving the Outback Wilderness over this like bumpy road, it's actually okay, people. It's actually really comfortable. It's soaking things up pretty well. Turbocharged engine with a CVT. It's kind of strange. I had a Nissan Rogue this week as a tester, and so I'm kind of used to, you know, turbocharged engine with a CVT, but it's always just a interesting feeling. That is for sure. But yeah, even over bigger bumps, it still is really comfortable. This thing's actually pretty quick. Wow. It's actually pretty quick. That is for sure. Let's kind of see what the acceleration is fully like here. I wasn't sure if that van was going to turn harder. It's hard to tell. Whoa! Yeah, this thing's actually quick. Wow. Yeah, that's surprising. And we're at like 4,500 feet elevation here, so that is impressive. Just double checking, making sure no one's crossing still. Yeah, it's not exactly refined with the acceleration, but it's pretty good. Let's see what the paddles feel like. Oof. It's It's pretty good. Still feels like a CVT though, that is for sure. But yeah, let's sum things up here with the Outback Wilderness. So first off, I think it's actually a pretty cool looking package on the outside. I think that's the main reason why a lot of people are actually going to purchase this, is not because of the off-road tech. It's more that it looks cool. Interior, same thing. It looks cool. Seats are pretty comfortable as well, and they definitely have this like durable type feel to them. That is for sure. So I definitely appreciate that. And again, I feel like they'd be pretty easy to clean off considering the material use. So that's a big plus, right? And then, you know, from a driving perspective, it's pretty quick, it's comfortable. Now, is this real off-roader? Kind of. I mean, it's got the ground clearance, it's got more aggressive tires, but CVTs aren't great off-road. We've kind of discovered that. And then the tires aren't super wide. That's I think honestly, like the CVT, a little bit annoying, but you could get through that. The biggest thing is just these tires need to be wider, because with what, like 245 millimeters for the width, that's just, you're not going to get a lot of grip off-road. You want at least 265, if not 275 millimeters to just get solid grip off-road. Otherwise, you're just going to be spinning. So yeah, I think this is a cool package. And I get why this is so popular, because it looks cool and it's very comfortable to drive. It's great on road. I'm just not sure if it's, you know, I think that some people might get a little bit confused, and they might think that this is a little bit more more of a hardcore off-roader than it actually is. It's kind of like on the entry level side of things, but still cool, like I said. Now let's get some things up for a video on the Outback Wilderness. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Jody Wilkinson Acura here in Utah for giving me some time with this Subaru. Check out the inventory in the description down below. I'll see you guys.